In a world where technology changes our communication daily, kindness takes on new digital forms. Social platforms, especially TikTok, are transforming from simple entertainment apps into powerful tools for social change. Short videos are becoming catalysts for good deeds, overcoming geographical and cultural barriers. Young people, often criticized for their excessive gadget use, demonstrate an amazing ability to use digital space to spread positive ideas. A 15-second video with a sincere compliment or an act of help can launch a wave of kindness, engaging thousands of followers. This phenomenon opens a new chapter in the history of human empathy, where kindness goes viral no less effectively than entertainment content. Platforms like TikTok provide a unique opportunity for young people not just to consume information, but also to become active agents of positive change in society. TikTok is not just a platform for dancing and entertainment. It is a powerful social tool with unique characteristics that make it an ideal environment for spreading good initiatives. The short video format, up to 60 seconds, forces content creators to express ideas concisely and emotionally. It is precisely this brevity that allows kindness to become contagious. The user has time to be imbued with the idea, but not to get tired of it. The democratic nature of the TikTok algorithm gives any video a chance to go viral, regardless of the author's number of subscribers. A kind act by a schoolboy from a small town can be seen by an audience of millions of people in a day. The hashtag Compliments Challenge garnered over 300 million views, with thousands of teenagers recording sincere compliments to strangers. The hashtag Helping Hands Challenge, calling for help for the elderly, resulted in real volunteer movements in dozens of countries. The phenomenon of TikTok kindness refutes the stereotype of the superficiality of digital interaction. Young people find in this platform an opportunity to show their best qualities publicly, receiving social approval for good deeds instead of the usual likes for appearance or material values. Kind trends on TikTok are changing the very ecosystem of social networks, turning them from a space for self-presentation into a territory of social responsibility. The platform becomes not only a mirror of society, but also its transformer, when teenagers compete not in expensive purchases, but in the ingenuity of showing care for others. Why does kindness go viral on social media? This phenomenon is explained by deep psychological mechanisms embedded in human nature itself. When we observe an act of kindness, even through a smartphone screen, mirror neurons are activated in our brain, cells that allow us to emotionally empathize with what we see. This is why a 15-second video with a sincere compliment to a stranger causes an outpouring of oxytocin in the viewer, a hormone associated with the formation of trust and empathy. Psychologists call this phenomenon emotional contagion. We involuntarily adopt the emotional state of those we observe. On TikTok, this effect is amplified many times over thanks to algorithms that show content to millions of users. Compliments and kind acts become trends also because they meet a basic human need for recognition and approval. A teenager who receives thousands of likes for a video helping an elderly person experiences powerful social reinforcement. Their brain registers, "This action is valued by society." Thus, a positive behavioral pattern is formed, which is solidified through regular repetition. Neurobiological studies show that even simply observing the kind acts of others increases the likelihood that a person will perform a similar action themselves. In this lies the unique power of TikTok. The platform creates a sense of presence, where the user feels part of a community where kindness is a social norm. Every positive trend on social media follows a certain path of development, from the spark of an idea to the flame of a global movement. The anatomy of a successful kindness trend includes several key elements. Firstly, authenticity. Viewers instantly recognize feigned kindness. Secondly, emotional resonance. The video must evoke a genuine feeling of warmth or admiration. Thirdly, ease of replication. The easier it is to join a trend, the greater its chances of spreading. A telling example is the story of Alisa, a schoolgirl from a small Russian town who started filming short videos giving compliments to her classmates. Her initiative went through 4 classic stages of a kind trend's development. Inception, the first 10 videos, gathering a few hundred views. Local spread, replication of the format by students of her school. Transcending the community, the idea being picked up by bloggers with millions of followers. And finally, global adaptation, the appearance of similar videos in 27 languages worldwide. Another example is the #HelpingElders movement, which began with a video of 15-year-old Mark helping an elderly neighbor carry groceries. The key to its virality was the genuine reaction of gratitude from the elderly person, which touched millions of viewers. In 3 weeks, the hashtag garnered over 70 million views and transformed into an international initiative to help the elderly with real offline volunteer actions. Analysis of successful kindness trends shows that the moment of emotional switching, when an observer becomes a participant, plays a crucial role. TikTok's algorithms amplify this effect by showing not only the original video but also dozens of its repetitions, creating a sense of a mass movement. This forms social proof, a psychological mechanism where people tend to repeat actions they see many others doing. The modern Generation Z and Alpha differ fundamentally from their predecessors. These young people were born in the era of digital technologies and social networks, which shaped their unique worldview. Research shows that for them, social responsibility is not just a fashionable trend, but an integral part of their identity. They do not separate their online and offline personas. For them, it is a single space for self-expression and action. Unlike millennials, who often did good for social approval, Generation Z sees good initiatives as a way to change the world for the better. 16-year-old Sonia from Yekaterinburg, who created the #Compliments to Strangers movement, explains her motivation simply. "I don't want to wait for adults to solve problems. We can start changing the world right now with small steps." Psychologists note a transformation of values. If previous generations strove for material success, for modern youth, social impact becomes a priority. 73% of teenagers believe that their actions on social networks can change society, and they prove it in practice. Digital activism is a natural form of civic participation for them. They don't just post about problems, but create communities of like-minded people and develop concrete solutions. Youth initiatives on TikTok are characterized by creativity, inclusivity, and a focus on measurable results. Imagine a typical compliment, words spoken personally to one person. Now transfer it to the digital reality and you get a completely new phenomenon. A compliment capable of transforming the day not of one, but of thousands of people simultaneously. In the era of social networks, kind words have evolved, turning from a private act into a public gesture with colossal potential for influence. TikTok has become the ideal environment for this transformation, offering a unique format where sincerity is valued above polish, and emotional response is more important than technical perfection. When 17-year-old Maria published a video complimenting random passers-by, she could not have imagined that she would launch a chain reaction of kindness. Her video garnered 2 million views in a day, spawning thousands of imitations around the world. Digital compliments have a unique property. They are preserved over time. Unlike words spoken in person, which can be forgotten, videos with kind words can be rewatched endlessly, offering support in difficult moments. Many users admit that they save video compliments they receive and return to them during periods of doubt or low spirits. Technology also enhances the effect of compliments through scaling. When a blogger with a million-strong audience sincerely praises the work of a budding creator, it's not just pleasant words. It's an instant change in a person's self-esteem and potentially their destiny. There are known cases where public recognition of talents in comments to TikTok videos led to professional contracts and a radical change in the career trajectory of young people. Virtual kindness can transcend digital space, transforming into real actions with tangible social impact. It is this transition from online activity to offline help that makes TikTok trends truly significant. The story of 15-year-old Katya from Novosibirsk vividly illustrates this mechanism. Her simple video about helping homeless animals, where she showed how she makes homemade shelters from improvised materials, garnered 4 million views in a week. But the main thing happened later. More than 2,000 teenagers across the country replicated her initiative, and volunteer organizations recorded a 30% increase in applications from school children wanting to help shelters. The mechanism for transforming likes into real actions includes several key elements. Firstly, accessibility. The action must be feasible for an average teenager without significant resources. Secondly, measurability of the result. Participants want to see a concrete effect of their actions. Thirdly, social reinforcement. The opportunity to receive peer recognition for good deeds. A notable case is the #CleanCity movement, which began with a TikTok video of school children cleaning up trash in a park. Thanks to the visual before and after format, the trend quickly spread across the country. In 3 months, more than 500 local cleanup actions were organized under this hashtag, and municipal authorities in several cities supported the initiative by providing equipment and organizing the removal of collected waste. Cases of helping specific individuals are particularly impressive. A video appeal for fundraising for a child's treatment, posted on TikTok, can raise an amount in a day that would take months with traditional formats. The effectiveness of such campaigns is explained by the emotional involvement of the audience and a low entry threshold. Almost anyone can donate a small amount. Behind the scenes of our news feeds, complex algorithmic systems are at work, determining what we see and what content we interact with. These digital curators wield immense power over the information environment, shaping trends and directing the attention of billions of users. What role do they play in the spread of good deeds? TikTok's recommendation algorithms are unique in that they consider not only content popularity, but also engagement time. Videos that elicit a genuine emotional reaction gain an advantage in organic distribution. This is precisely why sincere acts of kindness often go viral. Viewers linger on them, rewatch them, comment, and share their impressions. Tech giants are beginning to realize their responsibility for the information ecosystem they create. ByteDance, the owner of TikTok, recently made changes to its algorithm that increase the chances of promoting socially significant content. Now, videos with charity and mutual aid hashtags receive an additional ranking bonus. Experiments show that even a minor adjustment to algorithm parameters can increase the reach of positive initiatives by 30%. This opens up new horizons for the targeted shaping of a culture of kindness through technological solutions. Platforms can become active participants in social design, creating an environment where empathy and mutual aid become the norm. At the same time, it is important to maintain a balance between algorithmic promotion of positive content and preserving the authenticity of kind initiatives. Users quickly recognize artificially imposed trends, which can lead to the opposite effect: cynicism and distrust of online expressions of kindness. Adults often wonder how to properly support children's digital altruism without infringing on their independence. Parents and educators play a key role in creating a safe environment where the younger generation can develop their benevolent initiatives. The first principle of support is conscious presence without excessive control. Instead of prohibitions, it is more effective to create a space for trusting dialogue, where a child can discuss their online projects. It is important for parents to show genuine interest in children's digital initiatives, asking open-ended questions. What inspired you to this idea? What feedback are you getting from participants? This approach strengthens the connection between generations and allows for unobtrusive guidance of the child's activity into a constructive direction. Educators can integrate social initiatives into the educational process, creating school projects based on popular benevolent trends. When a literature teacher suggested to students that they record videos with compliments to characters from classical works, it not only sparked a surge of interest in reading, but also generated a wave of positive videos outside the classroom. Adults need to remember age-specific characteristics when supporting online initiatives. Younger school children require more structure and concrete suggestions. For teenagers, space for self-realization and recognition of their expertise in the digital environment are more important. The key task for adults is to help children understand the connection between virtual actions and real consequences. Joint discussion of the ethical aspects of online activism, privacy issues, and the long-term impact of the digital footprint forms a responsible attitude towards social networks. Parents and educators can become not only mentors, but also co-participants in children's initiatives, demonstrating a willingness to learn from the younger generation and together create positive changes in society. Kind trends on social media are not just entertainment, but also a powerful educational tool that shapes the emotional intelligence of modern teenagers. When a student participates in a compliment challenge or creates a video about helping those in need, they unconsciously train key socio-emotional skills: empathy, emotion recognition, managing their feelings, and constructive interaction with others. Psychological studies show that regular participation in kind online initiatives increases teenagers' empathy levels by 27%. Trends that involve direct contact are particularly effective. For example, when one needs to observe a person's reaction to a compliment or help. Such experience teaches young people to read non-verbal cues, understand the emotional state of their interlocutor, and adapt their behavior. Progressive educators are already integrating social trends into the educational process. At the Lomonosov School in St. Petersburg, a social studies teacher suggested to students that they analyze popular kind challenges from a sociological and psychological perspective, and then develop their own initiative. The result was the #BehindTheScenes-Story project, where teenagers interviewed elderly people about their life experiences. This not only brought generations closer, but also developed students' active listening and empathetic presence skills. The format of informal education through kind trends holds particular value. Unlike traditional learning, where emotional intelligence often remains outside the curriculum, social platforms create a natural environment for its development. There are no grades or formal requirements here. There is a live audience response, which becomes a natural regulator of behavior. Psychologists note, participation in kind trends forms a positive social identity in teenagers. They begin to perceive themselves as people capable of influencing the world around them, which is critically important for the formation of a healthy personality. Psychologists have long observed, when we do something good for others, our own well-being also grows. In the digital age, this effect takes on a new dimension. Teenagers' participation in kind online trends creates a powerful, mutually reinforcing mechanism. By improving the lives of others, they transform their own psyche. Stanford University research shows that school children who regularly participate in altruistic TikTok challenges demonstrate 30% higher rates of psychological resilience compared to peers who passively consume entertainment content. When 14-year-old Sonia launched a marathon of supporting classmates through short videos with compliments, she had no idea that she was solving her own self-esteem problems. A month later, the school psychologist noted a significant improvement in her emotional state. Psychologists call this phenomenon the helper's effect. An act of kindness activates pleasure centers in the brain, releasing serotonin and oxytocin, hormones associated with feelings of happiness and reduced anxiety. This mechanism is especially important for adolescents experiencing a natural identity crisis. Public display of kindness on social media allows them to construct a positive self-image, receiving healthy social reinforcement. In contrast to toxic trends that provoke risky behavior, kind challenges create a safe space for self-expression and acceptance. Longitudinal studies show that young people who regularly practice digital kindness are 42% less likely to experience problems with depression and anxiety disorders in the future. Digital altruism becomes a kind of inoculation for psychological well-being, forming a stable habit of seeking positivity even in difficult life situations. What will digital kindness look like in 10 years? Experts predict the emergence of integrated ecosystems, where social platforms will not just reflect kind initiatives, but actively stimulate them. Virtual and augmented reality technologies will allow for a complete immersion effect. Users will not only see the outcome of their help, but also virtually live through the situation of a person in need of support. This will elevate the development of empathy to a qualitatively new level. Artificial intelligence will become an assistant in spreading kindness, analyzing millions of interactions and offering personalized ways to participate in social initiatives that align with each user's values and capabilities. However, the future of digital kindness also presents serious challenges. The first is the problem of burnout. Constant exposure to stories about others' difficulties can lead to emotional exhaustion, especially in adolescents with still developing psychological boundaries. It is necessary to cultivate a culture of conscious altruism, where caring for others is balanced with self-care. The second challenge is the commercialization of kindness. Even today, we see brands using social initiatives for promotion. It is important to teach young people to distinguish genuine care from marketing manipulation. The third problem is the superficiality of digital activism. There is a risk that online kindness will remain at the level of likes and reposts, failing to transform into real-world actions. Overcoming these challenges will require collaborative efforts from technology companies, educators, psychologists, and users themselves. The key strategy becomes the formation of digital ethics based on principles of authenticity, responsibility, and sustainability. The future lies with integrated platforms, where virtual manifestations of kindness naturally transition into real actions, and technology serves as an amplifier of human empathy, not a substitute for it.